So, you're a medieval peasant. You smell like turnips, own half a goat, and sleep in a dirt hut with your extended family and a chicken named Reginald. And now you've got big dreams, you want to be king. Adorable. But let's just be clear. The odds of going from peasant to king were about the same as being struck by lightning while winning a jousting tournament on fire. Still, it could happen. Not because the system made sense to God, no, but because history is weird, violent, and sometimes drunk. So let's break it down. How does one go from scraping mud off noble boots to wearing the crown? Your best shot at the throne? Being born into a royal family during a time of complete dysfunction. You don't need to be the firstborn just somewhere on the messy medieval family tree. Half-brother, secret son, bastard no one talks about until a plague wipes out the main heirs? Boom, you're in the game. Peasants technically didn't qualify, but if you could fake noble blood, survive long enough, or win a war, the rules got real flexible. Bottom line, if there's enough chaos, civil war, disputed succession, or a suspicious accident involving a horse and some stairs, you might just be next in line, even if no one remembers your last name. Forget resumes. If you wanted power, you picked up a sword and hoped your enemies were worse at stabbing than you. Rebellions, coups, and random uprisings were medieval networking events with more blood. If you led a peasant revolt and didn't die immediately, people noticed, especially if the current king was wildly unpopular. Which plot twist they usually were. Be charismatic, be ruthless, be lucky. If you won battles and scared the right nobles into supporting you, congratulations, you've unlocked guy who might be king status. Bonus points if you marry someone important or claim you've got divine right, even if it's complete nonsense, especially if it's complete nonsense. The royal family had a habit of dying, a lot. Wars, plagues, poisonings, oops. I fell down the stairs situations. It was a revolving door of corpses and crowns. And guess what? Every dead noble was one step closer to you moving up the ladder. Sometimes all it took was outliving enough cousins, or assassinating the right uncle, or accidentally switching babies in a cradle. Medieval politics were basically Game of Thrones with the worst hygiene. So if you were shrewd enough to not die, you might wake up one day and be like, wait, am I king now? And everyone would nod, too tired to keep fighting about it. If you didn't have royal blood or an army, you could always fake destiny, claim to be chosen by God. Say a saint visited you in a dream, or that your cow gave birth to a calf with a crown-shaped spot. People believed weird things back then. So if you sounded convincing and didn't stutter, you might get enough villagers to back your divine claim. Better yet, get the church on your side. Bribe a bishop. Make a holy pilgrimage. Throw in some relics. Boom now, you're anointed by God, which means even the illiterate masses will start calling you Your Majesty. Was it propaganda? Absolutely. Did it work? Often. Still a peasant? No problem. Just become a legend. Think Joan of Arc, William the Conqueror, or that one stable boy who became King of Hungary. Every once in a while, someone came from absolutely nowhere, backed by luck, charisma, and sheer chaos, and changed the game. Maybe you save a king's life in battle, or a wizard tells everyone you're the chosen one, or you just gather enough angry people behind you to storm the castle. These stories were rare, messy, and usually didn't end well. But hey, sometimes history loves an underdog, especially one with a sword and a compelling backstory. Congrats, Your Majesty. You've backstabbed, schemed, rallied, and maybe even earned the throne. Now what? Oh, right, everyone wants you dead. The nobles hate you. The peasants still smell. The church is suspicious. And your food? Probably poison. You'll need to marry smart, build alliances, kill your enemies, politely, and try not to die of dysentery. Because becoming king was hard, but staying king, practically impossible. And let's be real, in about 5 years, some other peasant is going to try the exact same thing you just did. Probably better. Probably with a cooler name. So enjoy the crown while it lasts. You earned it. Sort of. Let's say you're not royal, not noble, not even literate, but you are bold enough to lie through your teeth. Congratulations, you might be king material. Pretenders were a thing, like a big thing. You could claim to be a long-lost prince, a miracle baby, or the real heir who was hidden by monks or wolves or something vaguely mystical. If you pulled it off, instant upgrade. If not, execution. So high risk, royal reward. But sometimes people wanted to believe, especially if the current king sucked. A well-timed rumor, a forged scroll, or a helpful rebellion. Bam, you're in. Moral of the story. Truth is optional. Confidence is crucial. Even in the Middle Ages, image was everything. You couldn't just declare yourself king. You needed a hype crew. Priests, poets, generals, whoever could talk loudly and convincingly enough to make you sound like a gift from heaven. They'd write scrolls, sing songs, claim you descended from Julius Caesar, and a local saint. Got a weird birthmark? That's the mark of destiny, baby. Killed the last king? No, you didn't. He ascended. Totally different vibe. Propaganda wasn't subtle. It was loud, dramatic, and kind of unhinged. But if enough people repeated it, boom, legitimacy. Lesson. Kings weren't made in battle. They were made in branding. You made it. You sat on the throne. You looked majestic. And then you guessed it. It all fell apart. Because the same chaos that lifted you up, it doesn't go away. People are still poor, nobles are still grumpy, and someone's always plotting your accidental hunting trip with no return. Maybe it's a coup. Maybe it's a plague. Maybe your own kids turn on you. Medieval family bonding was intense. But eventually, the crown feels real heavy, and then it falls. Best case, you die peacefully. Worst case, you're overthrown, beheaded, and remembered as a tyrant with bad hair. So yeah, being king, overrated. But the journey, absolutely unhinged. So yeah, going from peasant to king wasn't impossible. It was just ridiculously dangerous, unlikely, and soaked in blood. But hey, dream big, because if medieval history has taught us anything, it's that with enough chaos, anyone can wear the crown. Just maybe don't get too comfortable. Like, comment and subscribe, or I'll send a plague to your village. Kidding.